guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to do an update to a very popular video I covered about a week and a half ago, which was titled, "My Ex-Fiancee World is Collapsing After Copies of Her Bucket List Spread Like Wildfire." And guys, this is a very brief recap. That's about the guy who's all set to be married, thought he got himself a really great girl, blah, 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 the usual story. And then one day he discovered that she had a bucket list. He found this, I think he found it on her laptop or some way, somehow he did. And it turns out this bucket list wasn't like, hopes and dreams of things she'd like to do in life, like amazing vacations or to trip to see the pyramids or go on a safari or something like that. No, this was her list of all these dudes that she's hooked up with. A thorough, detailed list of the guy, where she met the guy, all the freaky crap she did with the guy, his status, all these types of things. How many times with that guy, dates and everything. Crazy. And it was a lot of dudes. Not to mention some also husbands of her friends. Psycho. So this guy's done with her, of course. At least a giant mess, and eventually ended with her friend coming to the guy's house, yelling at him and everything like that, trying, one of those shaming tactics the girls try to have their friends do. And he presented her with a list, and guess what? Her husband was on it, and she sent it to everybody, and now it's a big giant mess. And so we're going to continue on where it left up, where things are what things been going on since he emailed me. Responses to questions, a lot of you guys in the comment section, stuff like that. And by the way, he sent me actual copies, and no, I can't show it to you, of part of her list in detail, an Excel spreadsheet, everything. Holy crap, he wasn't joking. So he continues his story saying, "Hello SSM. Thank you for reading my email. I'm very grateful for the community and their comments. I read most of them, and besides giving me the munchies of popcorn and beer, I got a good laugh and great advice. It's been a couple of crazy days, but besides the night I cried when I was on edibles, I haven't felt sad. I've always used comedy and stupid comments as a coping mechanism, but this feels different. I'm still making stupid comments, but I feel emotionless. Maybe it's a matter of time before I feel the loss of what I thought I had, or maybe what she did shocked me to the point of not giving a crap anymore. I guess time will tell. For now, my fridge is full of my mom's home-cooked meals, my work is going smoothly, and friends have been taking turns visiting me. Bro, I'm glad you got a really great support system with friends and family. That's great. I can't begin to imagine how humiliating this is, because obviously you got to control the narrative, everybody knowing what she was doing behind the scenes. And if I recall, she put on an amazing act and fooled everybody. But this is a woman you spent years with, who you thought you were going to marry, so yeah, I'm sure the shock is impacting you, but sooner or later you're going to start, the hurt's going to come in, the betrayal, all that. It won't be anger or humor, and that's normal. You got to go through the emotions and grieving process. But remember one thing, she is not who you thought she was. So if you're feeling sad at times and mourning the loss, you're not mourning her because who you thought she was, it's not her. It was a big act, As for the tsunami of madness, I came to the conclusion that if she forced me to participate in her deranged world, why not enjoy watching it burn? Yeah, anyway. I'm not sure how legally effed we would be if I passed you the entire list. There are so many condemned names and sick things in there that's like reading the contract of San Venganza. San Venganza, I gotta look that up. However, I don't think it'd be a big deal if I emailed you the same screenshot I sent Dextra before breaking up with her. If you read it by yourself, burn it, frame it, or use it for your channel. It's up to you. Whatever you decide, just make sure you to do a Holy Mary before and after you read this shit. Cleanse your soul, brother. Well, yeah, he sent me he didn't send me the Excel spreadsheet, he sent me a snapshot, and I got enough of it. And holy crap. And no, guys, I can't show that to you. I know you're dying to see it, but trust me, like I'm telling you, names, locations, what she did, how many times, her relationship to these people, everything. No joke. Co-workers, husbands, boyfriends of her friends, no joke. Now, to answer some questions, Dextra, that is the nickname that he's giving her, is the female form of Dexter. The nickname credit goes to Alex on edibles. At first, he tried calling her Cersei, but I'm too much of a Game of Thrones fan to let her ruin it for me. How did I miss those red flags? Her biggest red flag seemed green to me. She always appeared disinterested whenever there was gossip or their friends had an issue. I thought it was good because she didn't like drama, but after the list I saw, I was wrong. No, she liked being in the drama. It's not that she didn't care about drama, it's that she has zero concern for other people's feelings. She was busy a lot, and I thought that meant she had a fulfilling life outside of our relationship, and I guess she did. Oh, she was being filled all right outside your relationship. Can't help it, bro. I gotta make the joke. I'm sure you're laughing, but also want to punch me. She gave me a lot of gifts and acted very excited or lustful every time I used them. And I thought that was her way of showing she loved me and was grateful for the lifestyle I provided. Yeah, lifestyle you provided. Now we're getting somewhere why she was with you, no offense. But the list showed most gifts I received were given to me after she slept for money. Alex said she acted like they were her trophies, ergo Dexter. And the list goes on and on. Sadly, I was so in love with the idea of her that I only saw green and excused everything that felt off. Right here, he excused everything that felt off. This is why you have to trust your gut, guys. When your gut's telling you something's not right, you gotta listen to it and do some digging. How did I get into her email? I knew her password because I used to log in to help her with her lost emails. That Friday was the second time I checked it since she started clicking the star besides her email. I don't know any of her passwords, and she doesn't know any of mine. Why did she have the contract to Saint? I can't get this right. San Venganza. I guess this is some literature I never fucking read in school or something. I have no idea who San Venganza is. All you guys can jump in now and tell me, because I'm going to get 500 comments. But who? SSM, you don't know who San Venganza is? No, I don't know. But you all can tell me. I don't know. My theories are she thought I wouldn't snoop on her things because I never done anything like that. Or she thought I would never click on anything called Bucket List because she knows how much I hate that overrated, boring movie. I like that movie, man. I think it was good. Maybe I'm alone here. I thought Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman were cool. Some suggested I get a dash cam. That was a great idea, but I don't own a car. In my city, getting a parking place is more expensive than buying a car, and the traffic here is torture. How did Karen get into the building? This is her friend. My apartment building has a pool, sauna, gym, yoga classes, a bar, pool table, a place for barbecue, a movie theater, and many other things Dexter and I love taking advantage of alone with our friends. Dude, that's awesome. What the hell are you paying for rent? Dexter didn't live with me, but she spent most of her time here, and her friends visit almost daily. Well, that would get annoying. Everyone in the lobby knows who Karen and her other friends are. Initially, the lobby used to call every time and ask if they should let them in, but after more than a year of endless visits, they just let them pass by. Well, not anymore. Why did I open the door when Karen knocked on the door? I was riding the last wave of edibles, and my neurons were offline. I never thought one of the 4 horsemen would show up at my place that fast, and I was not prepared. Don't worry, I triple check before opening doors or answering calls. Good, bro. How can Dexter not know my work phone? I have an ex to thank for that. I hate ringtones, so I keep my personal phone in vibrate mode. Because of that, I tend to answer texts late or miss some calls. I can't do that with work, so that phone rings out loud. Back when I recently got the job, I mistakenly gave the number to my then girlfriend. Whenever I took more than a minute to answer on my personal phone, she would text me like crazy on my work phone. After a breakup, I never gave that number to anyone else. So, your ex is obviously deranged as well. You don't respond right away and she's bombarding you with texts and everything. Bro, you need to work on your screening process going forward with any women you get involved with, because I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Tragically, Dextra knows where I work. Thankfully, I work for a family company run by 2 brothers. I've been good friends with each one of them since high school. Let's call him Jude, since he has a shit taste and hates the Beatles. When I was in college, Jude suggested I pursue a career that would benefit both his company and me. I did, and they hired me. It's been pretty cool so far. After Karen detonated the bomb and started Armageddon, he's referring to Karen sending this list to everybody and posting it on social media, I sent the list to Jude, warned them to keep an eye on Dextra, and asked if I could manage all my projects from home. He said that wouldn't be a problem as long as I delivered on time and kept him informed of Dextra's downfall. Hey, that's great your boss is willing to work with you. And shit, he wants to know the details of her downfall. To the people who call me spineless for not confronting her, I'm not spineless, I'm comfortable. Maybe even lazy. I know I'll eventually have to confront her, but why go 40 plus floors down and listen to the horse shit when I have people who can take out the trash for me? Yeah, why do you need to confront her? Why have closure? It's over. You have her giant list. She's been cheating on you for years. She is a train wreck. Why do you need to give her an audience? Seriously. So if anybody's giving you shit saying you have to confront her and closure and all that, fuck that. No, you do what's best for you, and if not, never speaking to her again, is it? Then that's that. Same with the list. I'm not a coward for not doing what Karen did. Dextra's secret is out. Everyone knows what she did to me. The consequences of her actions are emotion, and unlike Karen, I have all the glory with zero legal implications. It's not about having balls, it's about being fucking smart. There you go. As for the ones calling this fake or BS, thank you. The fact that we live in a world where a mom sold her kid for $500, where being a prostitute is seen as empowering, and a 400-pound whale is on the cover of a fitness magazine, and still some believe shit like this must be fake because it's unbelievable that an entitled woman that's been in my place over 200 times managed to take an elevator and knock on my door. It gives me hope that not everyone in the world is a bitter cynic. There are still many naive, innocent people who see common sense as something given, and that's what this world needs. Well, this whole world, a lot of this world is lacking in common sense. A lot of people hate me because guess what? I talk about common sense. My female cousin, who a few years ago found out what I do on YouTube, she's like an older sister to me. Out of the blue, she texted me. She goes, "Is that you on YouTube?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." And I didn't know how she was going to respond when I saw her. This was 2021 when she reached out to me because, COVID, I didn't see my family for a while. And she said she and my nephews were watching this, and she said, "You talk common sense." There you go. But she's very practical. But anyhow, yeah, so people giving you shit saying this is fake, blah, blah, blah. Do you know how much crazy shit every day is reported in the media that is actually factual? That's truth is stranger than fiction. So, there are certainly some stories one could question, but by and large, things like this, yeah, crazy shit happens, guys. He says, just don't be too naive. I used to be like that, and here I am. Writing this email after getting the most extensive STD checkup since Mia, how do you pronounce her? Like Khalifka, whatever the fuck her name is. I remember her, but, the most extensive STD checkup since Mia's bachelorette party. Now to what is happening. Before I turned on my phone and read the posts and emails, I thought everything would happen slowly in ripples, with each of Dextra's consequences getting bigger and bigger as time passed by. I was wrong. This was like throwing a lit cigarette into an open methanol tank. An instant explosion, multiple casualties. It was like watching the alien invasion scene in The Avengers. Karen opened the gate, and the whole city turned to chaos. Everywhere with everyone involved. It's so chaotic that I'll divide everything that's been happening into two sections. Note, all the information I'll provide was found in the emails, posts, and texts I received from everyone who knows anyone involved. So this has been a giant ripple effect across the board, everyone and everyone he knows. He says, Karen the Oppenheimer. Oh, how appropriate. The social media post showed me how psychologically effed up Dextra really was. It turns out the entry I read to Karen was about one of their get-togethers. Dexter's group of friends didn't go to bars to get drunk. They did more of a house tour. They picked one of their friends who hosted dinner at their house and then would go, talk and drink there. I saw that as a green flag, mainly because most hosts had their husbands or boyfriends in the same house during the dinner. Okay. On the 26th, they met for one of these dinners. This meant that Dexter purposely slept with the husband so that she could sit down next to Karen like an effing Twinkie with her husband filling. The dates on the list showed Dexter like doing crap like this a lot. It looks like she enjoyed being in close contact with her lover's partners right after sleeping with their men. So she would hook up with these guys, these husbands or boyfriends, and then be with a friend shortly after. It made her feel good. She is twisted. Freaking evil. Why did she do that? Control, ego, fetish, daddy issues, her astrology birth chart, take your pick. Her reasons are way above my pay grade. Dude, don't even try to figure out crazy. As for Karen's husband, on Wednesday, he ended up in the hospital with bruises and a broken wrist after the lovely, impulsive Karen hit him with a frying pan. Who knew Williams Sonoma sold weapons of choice? Karen wasn't arrested because the husband called it a kitchen accident and didn't press charges. Since his participation in the contract with San Verangaza, including bisexual groups and drugs, I can take a wild guess how did Karen convince him not to press charges. Okay. She's got dirt on him. From her social media posts, we can tell she's been talking to divorce attorneys, and even without having kids, that divorce will cost the husband his entire lifespan. Hell hath no fury. Well, Karen's an asshole, and we could tell by your first story how she's coming to give you shit about this whole thing. Remember in the first story, guys, how she shut up his door, yelling at him, and said pretty much, well, whatever happened, you must have caused it, or something like that. So I thought it was quite appropriate that he then showed her the list. Guess what? My now ex was doing your husband. You know? But anyhow, she does have a right to be pissed off at her husband, of course, but still, she got what she was coming. She's an a-hole anyway. Still, not everything is going as planned for Karen. These past days, she's been crying to anyone who listens about how Dexter is threatening to sue her for defamation, non-consensual PORN, trauma, and many other things. Karen removed the list from her social media, but the damage was done. She even contacted me demanding that I pay for her lawyer since I was the one who gave her the list and taunted her. Oh, okay. After she gave you a hard time showing up to your place unannounced, uninvited, yelling at you, giving you crap, you provided with the list, proving that, guess what, I'm not crazy and your so-called friend was doing your husband, and it's your fault that she took that list and proceeded to put it on social media and show everybody and tell everybody it's your fault that you controlled her mind. You know, you're like Professor Xavier and you controlled her mind and she put that shit. No, that's not your fault. But she wants to make it your fault because, well, big shocker, the gal's on accountability. Anything happens to her, this is because of her actions. It sucks that for my Trojan horse, but it doesn't matter if what Dexter did was deranged. What Karen did was stupid. And she probably is going to lose that lawsuit and end up paying a substantial financial compensation, if not worse. Next up, he says Civil War. After the list was published, Dexter's friend group showed his true colors. Their feministic views evaporated into oblivion, and they are now turning against each other. And of course, you got Team Karen and Team Dexter. They were mainly divided into two groups. I'm going to call them Team Captain, everyone on Karen's side who agrees Dexter deserved to be publicly humiliated, and Team Tony, all the others who said Karen shouldn't have handled it privately because now the entire group is socially paying for Dexter's inability to close her legs. If any of you don't get what he's referring to the Avengers universe, and Team Captain. In the movie Civil War, you had the Avengers that were fighting each other, Team Cap and Team Tony. This guy's an Avengers fan like me. I guarantee you some people aren't going to know what the fuck you're talking about, but I would imagine most would. Civil War was one of the best movies, I think, of the whole Avengers thing, in my opinion. One thing that keeps my faith in humanity slightly above is that of the 9 friends, only 2 husbands and 1 boyfriend were on the list. Needless to say, their wives and girlfriends are part of Team Cap. From what I've read, the boyfriend lost his girlfriend right after she shared his participation on the list with his parents. The fallout wasn't as harmful as she thought it would be. I mean, they are his parents, and no matter how effed up their son is, I guess they still have to love him. Depends on the parents. To achieve the damage she wanted, Team Cap turned the boyfriend contribution on the list into those effing plasticky stickers and pasted them all over his entire car, around his house, and his gym. The boyfriend called the cops for destruction of property, but since he couldn't prove who pasted the stickers on his car, and the girlfriend wasn't the only potential suspect affected by the list, the girlfriend was free to go. As for the other cheating husband, he was fired from work. The list showed him and the janitor using the office for their SEX sessions with Dexter. The company's IT used the info on the list to find the exact dates they needed to check in their security cameras. His wife kicked him out of the house, and she is going for full custody with no visitation. Ouch. Well, this guy should be allowed to see. Cheating on his wife ain't cool, of course, but that doesn't mean he should be able to see his kids, for God's sake. She's just going for full destruction, and no, that punishment does not fit that crime. That's bullshit. If she wants to divorce him, no problem there, and all that, but trying to keep him seeing his kids, that's fucking bullshit. He tried to find pity and sorrow by posting a hilarious sob story explaining his side, but it was taken down minutes after posting it. My sister's friend was kind enough to screenshot the post and send it to me, which I'm now sending to you. I didn't look at that part. I was more focused on the list you showed me from with your ex. The fallout. Dexter has been trying to contact me since day one. She has left me food, whiskey, candies, Panera soups, and love notes in the lobby. I gave everything away but the whiskey. I don't know if she got a new phone or is asking people to lend her theirs, but so far, I received up to 40 missed calls and a ridiculous amount of texts from different phone numbers. She's not going to stop, man, until she gets you. The texts go from wanting to see me to sending me nudes, videos of her crying, begging me to answer, and telling me I'm acting irrationally and not like myself. You found a list of all the different dudes she cheated on with while you were together, and you're acting irrational because you don't want anything to do with her? Oh, okay. She's given reasons, excuses, and proposals. My favorite excuses are, number 1, Karen wrote the entire list. I did nothing. Oh, for God's sakes. 2, you misunderstood the list. It's not what I've done, but everything I've heard my friends did. I shouldn't have written it like that. Bullshit. 3, it was a way to find sexy things to make you come. It was all make-believe. 4, and the best of all, I never did any of those disgusting things. It was just research for a sex novel I've been working on, like 50 Shades of Grey. Imagine all the things I could get for us after I become a bestseller. Wow. Well, man, you got a story to tell the grandkids if you ever get married and actually have a good marriage work out and eventually have grandkids. The only thing she never said is, wait for it, I'm sorry, or any other type of admission of accountability. I haven't talked to her, replied, or anything like that. Not because I'm spineless, but because seeing her spiraling down has been highly entertaining. I'm sure it is entertaining. Sooner or later, it's going to hit you in a different way, but right now, at least you can have humor in this. Not once, guys, has she ever said she's sorry, or apologized, or any kind of accountability. Shocker. Because she's a narcissist. And guess what? They're never wrong. For what I've heard, Dextra, her fat, ugly coworker, and another man were suspended until further notice. It turns out that the other man on the list worked in HR. Now her company has no idea how many infractions and complaints she has because Mr. HR erased everything related to Dextra. Besides that, I have no idea what's happening here, but I'll update you when I find out. The email thread is out of control now, but it's mostly people shocked about what they're reading, others asking to be removed from the thread, and others jumping into the manhunt to destroy everyone on the list. And now that's it for the past week. I'll send an update when all these threads merge into something more concrete. Holy shit, man. Well, I'm glad you wrote in. I'm sure it's therapeutic to write in about all this, and you're going to get more tips and suggestions in the comment section. You'll get some guys giving you shit, but that's you cannot do anything in this world without somebody having an opinion on it and giving you shit. It is what it is. I've been getting shit since day one. It's nothing new to me. But like I said, bro, take this one day at a time. Be careful on the booze. Be careful on the junk food or any drugs because it's not going to help you. I get the first weekend doing that, but beyond that, you got to get off that shit. You got to make the situation work. But I'm glad you got your friends and your family looking out for you. That's awesome. I'm glad your boss is letting you work from home. That's great. Sooner or later, you're going to have to get out of the house or your apartment, and she'll probably be waiting around the corner just waiting to follow you and something like that. So be prepared for that. She's likely not going to give up until she corners you some way, somehow, so be very careful there. And if you don't want to talk to her, you don't have to talk to her. There's nothing to say, It's not like when she's reaching out to you, she's saying anything, at all. You never gotten, I'm sorry, you never gotten any accountability, nothing. So there's nothing to discuss. And I wouldn't worry about her friend successfully suing you because her friend, Karen, through her own actions, put that thing up online and all that. So if she gets a defamation suit against her, it's not your problem. But if you get nervous, I'm sure your boss, your boss, the business owner, knows some lawyers and can probably, point you in the right direction, if you need help. But I hope it doesn't come to that, but you never know in this crazy world. So, bro, take it one day at a time. Like I said, spend time with friends and family, hit the gym, exercise, stay positive, surround yourself with people that care, and try not to get sucked too much into this drama. And one day at a time, and we'll see how you're doing down the road. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Give this guy a shout out in the comment section. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.